This is a quick recording and just show you how to install VirtualBox to get ready for classes. The first thing you're going to have to do is you're going to have to go into your Windows Explorer or whatever browser you're using, and you're going to want to go to www.virtualbox.org right here. Okay. Once you're sitting there and you're at that website, you can sit there and click over here on downloads. And then you're going to want to click on, in our case, the Windows hosts. Okay, if you have a Linux box or a Mac, you can install it from there as well. But this example is going to be done with Windows. And you want to download that and save it someplace. You also want to download the VirtualBox extension pack right here. Okay, so once you get that taken care of, I'm going to sit there and close this out. You're going to want to go to wherever that you've started. Now, before I go too much farther, let me just mention, some of you may have noticed I'm actually in VirtualBox. And no, you cannot run a virtual machine inside a VirtualBox that's inside another VirtualBox. Okay, so don't get crazy on us. But what you can do, what I'm showing you now, is you can actually sit there and install VirtualBox, so I don't have to mess up my main machine. Okay, so what you do is you go in and we're going to double click the downloaded file that you have and go ahead and click on the run, and it's going to start installing. Okay, now depending on your machine, it may be faster than this. This is a virtual machine that only has 2 gigabytes of RAM. Okay, so we go ahead and click on next. Leave all the defaults the way they are because that will help me troubleshoot if you're having trouble. Okay, so go ahead and click next. Now you can include the shortcut down here in the quick launch bar as well as the desktop. I generally just use one on the desktop. Okay, but whatever your preference is. It will also be in the start menu as well. And then you can go ahead and click next. And this is important. Make sure you're done downloading everything before you start installing, because as it's putting its virtual interfaces in association with your network card, it will temporarily disconnect you and reconnect you to the internet. Okay, it'll be all good when you're done, but just realize it will interrupt any download that you haven't going at the time. And we like everything we've done, so we're going to click install. And that's going to start installing, and I'm going to sit there and do a quick pause until the next screen that we need to talk about comes up. What you will see is you're also going to see another user account control, at least in Windows 7, come up. So we're going to click yes and let it continue on. One thing I want you to notice about VirtualBox as it's installing is down here there's a series of icons that we can see what's happening. Like this first one right here happens to be the drive light, and you can see it's writing right now. It will change between that little dot, change between red and green depending on if it's reading or writing. Okay, and then you've actually got here there's a CD. Okay, that we'll talk about a little bit later. Here is something for the network, so you can actually see if network traffic is happening. Okay, so just realize that that's there available to you. Okay, and it's pretty good actually. Now, this is the other thing I wanted to say. You're going to see this several times. Okay, for the most part, what I do is I'll say I always trust, because this is the only thing from Oracle I'm installing, and you won't have to keep clicking install. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and click install here, and then I'm going to pause it until we're done, because that should be the last thing we have to look at. Okay, and you can see the process is done now. It probably took a total of about 6 to 7 minutes. So really not too bad. So we're going to go ahead and let it start up so you can see what the interface looks like. So I'm going to click finish. And again, remember, since I'm running it inside another virtual machine, it's running a little bit slow. But we can tell it is doing something because, again, we can look down here at the bottom and see what the hard drive light's doing. And I'm going to pause for a second until it comes up. And notice here you can see this is what the interface is going to look like, and obviously when you first install it there are no virtual machines sitting here. Sometimes if you have another window open you won't see this, but if you look down here you'll see this icon, and if you click on it that will bring this up. Okay, so now that we have that done, what I want you to do is close it, because what we're going to do is add those additions. So again, wherever you downloaded it, the VirtualBox Extensions, you're going to double click that. And it's actually going to open up VirtualBox, and then it's going to tell you, yep, here it is. This is what we're trying to do. And so go ahead and click install. We're going to sit there and say we agree, so we're going to scroll all the way down to the bottom. This is the VirtualBox license. I have looked at this. There's nothing flaky in it. So click I agree. And now it's starting to install the helper. And this is just going to make everything run a little smoother, make sure that if you connect a USB 2 device, it's going to run. It's a good thing to install it when you install VirtualBox. And you should pull it down at the same time because you want the same version. Okay? So I'm going to pause this until it's done installing. Okay, we're back again, and you can see that it only took a few minutes. Okay? And then we're going to go OK. And now you are set up to be able to actually start bringing items in.